Hey guys, this is the row garden that we put our large volume vegetables in. Now the reason we use this spot is because the dirt is softer. Let's see if I can find you some of our rocks. This is one of our smaller rocks, and our whole back property is made up of these rocks. Because we've had such a struggle with the two different types of substrate on our property, I've done a lot of experimenting. In this spot right here, we raised pigs for 4 months, and we put in a lot of wood mulch. We put in a lot of horse compost in this spot to keep the pigs warm, and they rototilled it and they dunged it, and then we put more wood chips on top of it. What happened when we rototilled this was that this rototilled very easily, and everything underneath it was black and soft and aerated, and we had worms in that space. It's always good to have some kind of design when you're gardening. So I'm going to take some stakes out. We made these stakes out of lathe from a cabinet maker, so we didn't have to pay for them. I've got my measuring tape and I've got my hammer. Mine is not going to be square. I have round corners on the back, and I've got, one of the reasons I want wide paths is I want the kids to actually be able to ride in this space, compact the soil in the paths, keep the weeds down. We may not actually do that, but I want to leave it as an option, so the paths need to be wide. So now what I want to do is go get my soil out of my pathways. I don't want to compact it. I want to have it in my garden. And so I'm gonna go use my flat shovel and my rake and see what I can do. The trick to this is to be cautious about my my calorie expenditure, make sure that I'm eating enough, make sure that we take rest. Alright, so I have one bed ready, and I want to thank Michael R. for all of his persistence in trying so hard to get me to try Mittleider gardening. I will probably try one bed this way and one bed that way. I'll set them all up in the way that the Mittleider garden works, where you have that little berm and then the flat spot that you plant into. So I'm going to do that, but I think I'm going to test the fertilizers in different rows and see what I like. Michael R., for those of you who don't know, is the one who helped with the actual new version of the Mittleider book. I don't remember, I think it had to do with the formatting, that he fixed the formatting for it, and it's a great book. I've been reading through it a lot lately. Very well put together, very easy to follow. What I'm doing right now is I'm checking the slope on the inside of the bed. I want it to be level, if not just a little bit pitched towards the road, so away from the high spot down to the low spot. The average row that they like to have in Mittleider gardening is 30 feet by and have the bed space be 18 inches across, and then the path in between should be 3.5 feet, and then the perimeter path should be 5 feet. So I'm kind of fudging on some of those things a lot. One reason, the reason my paths are not going to be 3.5 feet is because this soil is heavy, and if I have to move 3.5 feet for each path, I'm going to kill myself. So I'm just making probably 18-inch paths between the beds. If I really focus on it all day long, I can get one bed put together, and that's it. And that's not abnormal. That's pretty normal for putting together any garden system that's going to be normal size to feed a family. So I'm going to go spread this and rake it in a little bit, and then I'm going to plant these, and I'm going to cover them. I don't know if I want to cover them. I don't want birds in them. I don't want voles in them. I don't want cats in them. But my hotbeds are so much easier to take care of that way than row gardens. But hotbeds for volume crops are very hard to get enough volume out of.
I can't wait till all the trees are producing, because then we can just ride by them and pick fruit off.
What?
Okay, I've done it with the plums before.
Okay, for your watering system, what you do is you take a little hand towel and you wrap it around the end of the hose, and then you tie it off, and this is the end that goes down the row, and what it does is it muffles it so that it can't put too much pressure and wash seeds away, but it allows it to soak.
Seedlings are little seeds on little stems, and those are the ones that we need to feed to the bunnies. Huh, Mom?
Yep. They're not bitter, but the leaves aren't very big. They bolted because of the heat. And so we come out and harvest this every day. And there's grass and weeds in here, but it doesn't hurt anything, does it?
Yeah.
If you pluck these right after you watered, not while the leaves are wet, but just while the soil is moist, then they come up clean and they don't disturb whatever else is growing around them.
Yeah, like carrots.
But if you wait until the soil dries out, then it is either they break off or they just won't pull up at all.
So her name is Moonlight. She has 9 babies, 5, 8 whites, and 4 not, and 4 blacks.
Okay, and we have all sorts of stuff in here for them. We have her food, which is a pellet, which is a commercial rabbit pellet. She has water and she has greens.
Yep.
And
And
so,
she also has cardboard to keep her hawks.
she has cardboard to stand on. And so anything she wants to eat, we put it in there. We don't just give her the greens, huh? Okay, show the greens again. Can you see them?
Yep.
Hi, Mama. The trick with intensive gardening and broadcast seeding is to harvest every single day. You have to take those old plants out to make room for the new ones that are just sprouting. So what I need to harvest today is a whole bunch of radishes. I need to pull out quite a bit of the sorrel and feed it to the goats. You can see that I have peas on. Can you see that I have peas on? See the peas? Okay. I have already intensively harvested this space. I took out a whole grocery bag full of greens. This is actually ready to harvest again. I have cabbages, kohlrabi, bok choy, tot soy, all in there. And then back here, I am constantly coming through and pulling out my comfrey because I have other comfrey underneath that wants to come through. And other herbs and things. So what I'm doing is pulling this out and laying it down to be a mulch for the greenhouse. So in here, see that? That's valerian.